Hi, Kochie here, just with a few thoughts on what came out of the budget last night. I must admit, off the bat, I was expecting a bit more from this budget, being the first budget of a new term, of a new government, a treasurer who almost modelling himself on Paul Keating, the great reformer. He wants to be a reforming treasurer, Jim Chalmers, but I thought there'd be a lot more tax reform in this budget. Get it over and done with in the first year of a new government, and then you can build around it going forward. None of that. Having said that, top of mind for me, the most important things to come out of the budget. Number one, we won't have an economic recession in the next 12 months. I think that's really important. Yes, the economy will slow, but it won't go backwards, and I think that's a good sign. Unemployment rising, but only a tad, only to 4.25%. So job market still going to be pretty strong, not as strong as it is now. It's sort of 50-year lows, the unemployment rate. Couldn't last that long with the amount of immigration coming in, but it's not going to blow out too much. In terms of being an inflationary budget, I don't think so. I think the spend on cost of living allowances, broadening of the Medicare bulk billing, increase in job seeker, I don't think it's going to be a massive inflationary impact. So I don't think it will impact on interest rates going forward. My view is the same with a lot of analysts, is that we're probably at the peak of the interest rate cycle after the increase last week. In terms of small business, the asset write-off reduction, yes, down to $20,000. Yes, there is a limit on the size for revenues, but most small businesses will come under that. I think that's a good thing. The other overwhelming observation I have for this budget is, God, we're in a lucky country, aren't we? When you consider what we've had to rebuild after the pandemic and the amount of revenue that is coming in, particularly from commodities, iron ore and coal, is massive. And they have a budget surplus this year. I predicted it last October with Jim Chalmers' first budget. In fact, I had a bottle of red wine on it with him when I said, I reckon you'll get into budget because you've rorted the assumptions for iron ore and coal, and you've sort of built a slush fund. He challenged me on that, so he had a bet on it. My back of the envelope figures from last night's budget is that yes, they've increased the assumptions a bit on iron ore and coal. They're still about half or 40% below what the market price is for iron ore and coal at the moment. And I reckon they'll come in with a good chance of a budget surplus next financial year as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But overall, I think, in my view, a bit of a lost opportunity on the part of the government in terms of bringing through tax reform. I think in terms of your customers, a strong labour market is going to be good. No more interest rate increases will be good. It's not going to be all rosy. The economy is going to slow down, so we're all going to have to be really careful on costs and re-engineer our business because the environment you've got now is going to go backwards, not into recession, but it's going to go backwards. It's going to slow in the future compared with now. So be careful with how you're going. No more interest rate increases, I don't believe. Inflation will start to come down a bit, and there will be no real wage growth because I think inflation will stay stubbornly high. Wages forecast to rise 4%. Inflation will be above that figure for most of the next financial year. But overall, given the circumstances, we're not in bad shape.